I'm trying to find you a good dude. I'm trying to be your matchmaker.
Are you really?
So all the guys out there,
Yes.
all the guys that are trying to get. We have a bunch of single engineers here at Sticky Paws. Shout out to them. All
right, let me tell you my criteria.
Let's go for the
Wait,
criteria.
really?
Yeah, go.
Okay, it's really not that bad.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. I prefer 5'10" and above.
Okay.
5'9" is okay if you're fit and handsome. Okay. And then I would prefer if you made 100K or above.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I guess it's fine if you're like 80K. But if you live in LA, you know, we're going to have to work something
tough,
out here.
yeah.
You know? You have to have some sort of job or like career. Even if you started it yourself, it has to be somewhat successful.
Okay.
And that's just meaning the 80 to 100K type of thing.
But like probable upward growth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But yeah, so like I'll believe in like a starving artist. I might not date one,
Yes.
but you know what I mean?
He can be starving, but he has to be 6'3".
5'10's fine. Well, yeah, actually,
The truth.
the guys that I've dated that are 6'3" and very good looking are all broke.
Of course.
Why is that?
So here's the reason why. Like if you work on one thing, you don't have to work on another. So it's almost like the guy who goes to Alabama. He's a 5-star recruit to play football, and he doesn't go to class because he's just so like his world. It's the super super pretty girl who's never taken any accountability for anything she's done in her life.
Yeah.
And so she's never really had to work, change a flat tire, do any of these kind of things. She just I have some female friends, their cars are just destroyed. Like they don't, missing hubcaps and shit is falling apart and they don't ever change the oil because they're hot girls. They don't ever. So sometimes you don't have a well-rounded, like for me, one of the things I do appreciate is I grew up in a middle-class house, but I went to high school in a very, very poor neighborhood. So I got to see how the other half lived. And then I went to college to a state school where I almost failed out of. And then I started to study as hard as I could to try to get back in there.
Yeah.
And before I graduated from college, I already had a job. And then I used that, that job to get another job. Then I joined the military, paid off all my, student debts. And then so I handled a lot of these things so that if in someday I am a billionaire, I do remember what it was like to be poor.
Exactly.
And so what that does is it causes me to work on my intellect. So I read as much as I can. It causes me to work on my personality, causes me to work on my physique, causes me to work on my health, all these different things that I had to work on, these attributes, because I'm not devastatingly good looking or devastatingly tall or devastatingly athletic or come from a super wealthy family. I had to work on these things. A lot of times what I'll meet is here, especially here in Vegas, is the 6'3" guy who's a bartender who like has never had any trouble with women whatsoever, like effortlessly is like pulling threesomes. The guy's just having no trouble at all.
Yeah.
And so because he doesn't have any motivation to get better in that area of his life, he's sleeping on a couch.
Interesting.
Because
he already has the prize.
Correct.
Share the women.
A lot of guys that I know that are VIP hosts or male strippers, they have that problem where they're just always broke. And what they're doing is I see a lot of them jumping from one NFT grift to the next Forex scam to whatever. And they're like, oh, I'm going to be rich next year. Or they're, like I said, the music producer or OnlyFans management team or whatever. And I see this all the time. And because they didn't work on that one part, then they got bad at the other one. And then you see the opposite. I have a lot of clients in Men of Action that are fighter pilots or doctors or lawyers or whatever.
Yeah.
And the financial part, they got completely set. But the social part, they didn't.
Yes.
And the extra body fat, plus the fact that they're over the age of 35, their natural testosterone aromatizes to estrogen, and they get into this deadly cycle where that not only are they producing too much estrogen and too little testosterone, they're starting to have joint problems because of the excess weight that they're carrying on there, and their whole attitude changes.